I remember being as early as the 4th and 5th grade, having a desire and a longing to be involved in the Mass somehow. I remember sitting with my mom in the pew and looking up there and going, you know, God, I wish I was up there too. And so the next year I started serving Mass and absolutely loved it and thought that maybe the Lord was calling me to the priesthood. And so I went to high school, Benedictine high school, and I lived in and out of the monastery all my 4 years of high school. And I thought, you know, this feels really good. And so I went off to college and worked for a while and then came back and joined the monastery. And then I ended up leaving the monastery and thought about maybe I should go back, and in the meantime met the woman who would eventually be my wife. And so she moved out west and I followed her out there and discerned that God was calling me to the vocation of marriage. And we got married and then found our way to Portland, Oregon, where she's from. And still felt a desire to serve the church somehow. So I started to get really involved in my parish at Immaculate Heart Church in Portland. And we moved there in August of 1995. And during the Easter Vigil Mass in 1996, I remember during the Gloria, this is after, you know, all the readings were in the dark and all of a sudden the lights come up and the bells start ringing and the Gloria is going. And I remember singing the Gloria and all of a sudden this thought, diaconate, starts to come into my head. And I said to myself, why am I thinking about the diaconate? I can't be a deacon, you know, because I'm married. But it wouldn't leave my thoughts. And after Mass, I went and spoke with Father. I said, Father, tell me about the diaconate. And he said, oh, you'd be a great deacon. And I said, Father, I can't be a deacon. I'm married. He goes, no. The permanent diaconate. And I said, permanent diaconate, what's that? Because in my experience in the monastery, the only deacons I knew were men who were going on to the priesthood. And so he directed me to Lumen Gentium, the Second Vatican Council document. And I read the paragraph on the permanent diaconate. And as soon as I read that, I knew that God was calling me to be a deacon. And so that started the process through the Archdiocese of Portland 5 years later toward my ordination to the diaconate.
For information on the priesthood or religious life, log on to www.ewtn.com/religiouslife.